What's up, folks? We are here on round 10 of the SR Championship at what is seemingly half the grid's home Grand Prix, the Dutch Grand Prix. We are joining us here at the very end of qualifying. We're about to start our final run. Put in just a banker run earlier in the session, then we waited to the very end, only making 2 runs. So we have a fresh set of softs for the race in case the safety car comes out late in the race. And yeah, at this point we are only about 2/10 off of pole position, even though we are sitting in P5, and we had some big mistakes in our qualifying lap. So we are looking good for a great qualifying position here if we can nail our qualifying run. And so far so good here in the first sector, carrying more speed than I did on my first lap through the banked corner there. And it's not a major improvement, but an improvement nonetheless so far. But on the long left-hander before the middle sector DRS straight is where I have a chance to make up a lot of time. But as we come through here,
wow, thanks Alpha Tower, fucking appreciate it.
I mean, it's all you can do is fucking laugh about it at this point. I mean, we ended last video with us just having fucking terrible luck, and here we are again. And at absolutely no fault of our own, we're not going to get to make a qualifying run in this race. God damn it. Oh, it's just frustrating watching these back, too. It's miserable. I hate it here. So yeah, we don't get to qualify for this race. Neat, we're going to be starting middle of the pack.
No luck to you all.
So I guess we are starting P5 thanks to the incompetence of the Alpha Tauri. We are doing hards to mediums today. This track is very high deg. The Alfa Romeo gets a very poor start ahead of us, but no room to slip through anywhere, so we're kind of just forced to just settle into the pack. They almost collide. They do collide a little bit there going into turn 2. But, you know, there's just no space for me to get through, and this is a hard track to overtake on, and I wasn't able to put a qualifying run in. Big issue for the Red Bull there. Nope, it turns out it was just desync, and because of the desync, we lose another position. Isn't that great? So now we're down into P6, and we have a bunch of cars that we are quicker than ahead of us that are just going to hold us up, and everyone else is going to get the pull ahead. Great start. We pull ahead to the laps with DRS now on lap 3, but we're in a DRS train, so it's going to be extremely difficult to make up any ground at all. But we do have a run on the McLaren, but he's going to use a bunch of ERS. We're going to throw it down the inside, and he turns into us there and clips us. Whew, that could have been a lot worse, but it wasn't. And yeah, that was really sketchy there. I don't know if there's desync there or what, but nonetheless, we were able to get through on the McLaren. And remember that moment because we had the inside, we were ahead going into the corner. But he was really bothered about that for some reason. So yeah, little bit of foreshadowing later in the race. But that's one of the cars gotten by. Now we are back into the position that we started in, which was definitely the position we deserved to start in, because qualifying came down to all skill issue and had nothing to do with us just being the only person getting fucked over again. Pulling forward, we would catch up to this pack, but as you can see, it's just a DRS train, and on a track like this, there's just absolutely no way through for us. So we were able to run down the leaders, but we're just held up by other cars and starting completely out of position, which is obviously frustrating because our pace is better than this, but yet we're just kind of stuck here. So we just gotta wait for something to happen, someone to mess up, someone to break out of DRS with someone else. We can pick off one car at a time, just literally anything, but there's just no real way through. And you run high enough wings here that you can't use a bunch of ERS because you don't really build back the ERS on this track. So yeah, we're just stuck here. As you can see, like, we got the DRS, but everyone has the DRS on each other. Can't throw it in on one car because you'll just hit the car ahead of them. So yeah, very tight running in the top 5. We'll see another example of it here as we go to the main straight, but maybe we will get a good enough run to be able to make a move on somebody. But nope, it's just too much of a DRS train. The Red Bull is going to get a run on the car ahead, And with them battling it out, there's nowhere for us to go to get involved. And yeah, like everyone's just battling each other ahead, and we're just kind of stuck here with nowhere to go. So hoping something happens or someone makes a mistake, we can actually get a couple positions here. Pull it forward later to lap 11. The Alfa Romeo got around the Red Bull and started to pull away from him. And we are going to try to make a move here, but the Red Bull just pulls in front of us and makes an extremely late move. And now he's going to continue to fight it back, and we are going to take the corner there. I am not keen to bothering racing with him. After that, that was an extremely, extremely late move, causing a collision and then trying to keep the position after that. I'm not a fan of that kind of malarkey. So yeah, we are going to aggressively take turn 2 and just let him know, like, hey, no, my position, fuck off. I'm not dealing with this bullshit. And ahead, Nicole, you can see the light blinking. He is out of ERS, so this should hopefully be another car that we can pick off and get back into the podium spots. So not even back into the podium spots, just get there in the first place. We would use our ERS advantage and our slight pace advantage to end at lap 13, start at lap 14. You can see we got a terrific run, and this is what I needed. Gaps to start to form, and that was a lapped car, so don't get excited there. I was happy for a second. I was like, oh, another position, but nope. But we are able to make the overtake happen there, and up into third position. Lap 19 is when we would pull it into the pits, throwing on the medium tire. Nothing really eventful happening here. I think we did, if I remember correctly, pit earlier than the other cars in the podium position. But this was just when I was anticipating to pit. You know, this wasn't me trying to pull some fantastic undercut. This was just my race strategy. I had done race practice, so I already had planned out what my optimal pit lap was for my overall race time. And yeah, coming in a little bit earlier seemed to be the plan, because having mediums is better than hards, even if the mediums are more worn than the hards are on this track. So basically, I ran my strategy so that the mediums would get their maximum usage without hitting that kind of 65% wear mark, which is where big tire fall off happens in terms of its pace. So instead of like running both tires to like mid-50s, you know, I'll run the hards only to like 50% and then take the mediums the extra laps, so they'll get close to 65% but not get there, and that just gives us better overall pace over the course of the race. And now ahead of us is the McLaren from earlier that he has got involved in incidents, and he is now an entire pit stop cycle behind us. But don't worry, he is burning all of his ERS to fight us to the death for absolutely no reason, even though he was an entire pit stop behind. And you can see he's just very slow through the corner. We're going to try to get around him sooner rather than later. And coming through the banked left-hander, we're going to try to look around the outside, but the outside is just too much slower. We're going to use ERS to try to get him on this stretch, but he is going to use all of his battery as well to continue to be ahead of us for some reason. And he's braking a lot there, and we go around the right-hander and heading into this corner. He brakes very early, and we get into the back of him. He said later that he broke on the red on his intended line, but he broke and then he hits us on purpose. Got himself a race ban for that. I mean, I never try to go into the back of somebody, but in the heat of the moment, it really felt like this guy was just holding us up on purpose. He had absolutely no reason to fight us. Why would you lose time fighting someone an entire pit stop ahead of you if it's not out of malicious intent? Spoiler alert, he admitted after the race that he was doing it because of the incident earlier, so he admitted it was out of malicious intent. He lied to the stewards saying, oh, I didn't brake early there. Showed on the screenshot he broke 2 whole car lengths early. So, you know, I understand I'm the car behind and I need to react to what he's doing, and I understand that there is a tire difference, but a tire difference does not mean that you break 2 car lengths earlier in this game. It just means that you can carry slightly less speed through the corner. So in the corners where I was quicker than him, maybe a little bit on the exit or in the middle of the corner, that makes sense, but in terms of the actual braking point, doesn't make any sense at all. And it just seemed like a whole very sketchy thing. And I just don't like how it was malicious. He literally, there's no reason for him to hold us up there. He was fighting us for no reason and burning his ERS for no reason. That was detrimental to his own race, and he admitted in chat that it was on purpose because of what happened earlier. But that doesn't fucking matter, I guess. So it's just an absolute mess of the race. That obviously slowed us up even more, so we lost more positions. And yeah, this whole race has just been a fucking shit show from the very beginning. We didn't even get a chance in this race. Our qualifying was fucked from us, and we had absolutely fantastic race pace. And then we got to deal with this bullshit of people an entire pit stop cycle behind, but fighting us and losing time on purpose. Like, this is the kind of shit that I have to deal with in league racing, while everyone else just gets to fucking cruise the easy victories. And to be quite frank with it, I've pretty much had it. Like, this new F1 game sucks compared to the old ones. Pad has absolutely no fucking force feedback. I had way better force feedback in 21. There's no feel to the throttle at all. Everything's like has like a yellow fucking tint to it for some reason. There's less detail in the tracks, the textures, the crowd, the ambient noises. Like, it's just, the game's going downhill, and the quality of the leagues I get involved in are quite frankly dog shit. It doesn't matter what league I get involved with, they have a bunch of people running it that run it into the ground. Like, whatever the fuck they ended up being called. They changed name every league, every season. You guys saw me cover those, and we finally got our championship there. And then we got this league, where every race I just get fucked, and the stewards don't know up from fucking down. And yeah, it's just irritating. It's just yet another race where we didn't even have a chance to even fucking try to play the game here. And whether it's qualifying or in the race, we just get absolutely boned. And people wonder why we can't fight for a championship. Like, I fucking wonder why, because shit like this every fucking race.
Oh, damn it.
Absolutely nothing would happen for the rest of the race. We were able to get up to P4.
I got someone.
And yeah, that's about it, and that's all I really care to talk about in this race. I mean, what can I fucking say? I didn't even get a chance to qualify, even though our pace was fantastic. I didn't even get a chance to race because I got to deal with people maliciously holding us up. Fucking great. I love losing points in the championship this way. At least we'll know at the end of the season that our result came down to all driver skill and totally not because of bullshit. It's just a fucking joke at this point. And the only reason I'm even still making these is because I already committed to doing the whole season. And I don't like to only half do things. But yeah, I'd be lying if I said that this experience has been anything other than fucking miserable, and that I have absolutely no motivation to play this game, because why would I spend hours practicing for races when just bullshit like this happens anyhow?